see. All right, welcome back to Formula 1 2020. I think we've gotten this working again. I have no idea why it does this. It absolutely hates me. Yep. All right, so we're working once again. Jonathan, top of the chart at the moment, over Charles. Troy, I believe, is wrapping up a timed lap here. And to the start-finish line with the McLaren, Charles will go top of the chart, a 1:28.968.
I thought that was Troy that went top of the chart.
It was. It was Troy.
Okay.
Who did I say?
You said Charles.
You said Charles.
Oh.
It's okay.
Ah, garbage again.
That's me looking at myself.
TK holds on to 6th. Catch up with many things. Red Bulls right now sat in row number 5. Not ideal. We'll see if they can pick that up.
Yeah, you could probably go out within 30 seconds.
So here we go with many things through turn 14. And through turn 15. 3 minutes remaining in the session to see if it goes or it doesn't for many things. To the line. He'll go 8th quickest. And now we'll catch up with Charles. Killing for Cash is joining.
I got an idea. I'm gonna try something. Need this to be quick. Pit crew. Let's go.
So let's see with Charles in the AlphaTauri. And it looks like we will get a 16 driver grid, as Killing for Cash will be joining us. And Charles will go a 1:28.937. More Colton. As he's
Holy
starting
Christ, this is gonna be close.
a timed lap. TK might have to start cutting some corners to make it around in time.
I know it's gonna be close.
And Troy said that's enough. He'll take the L here in qualifying with 60 seconds remaining. Invader Octane trying again. Jonathan on an out lap. Everybody trying to steal pole from Charles. Charles frozen to towel. That time it either goes or it doesn't for him. Devin trending in the green.
guys recording your stuff or not?
Oh, there's a big lag for Invader there. Coming to the start-finish line. Devin, can he dethrone Charles? It will not be enough. Octane will improve, but it won't be enough.
Oh, not
Col-
enough time. I was
Col-
like 5 seconds short.
Colton's bringing it in. It will not go for TK. Here comes Neil. We know he's fast. Jonathan is out there as well. Yes.
Let's go. Come on, I'm praying for this pole position, mate. I'm praying.
Well, there's still a couple legitimate threats still out there. Here comes Neil through turn 14 into turn 15, down the start finish straight. Here we go. What is it going to be for Neil? It will be 11th quickest for Neil. Here comes Jonathan, a purple sector 2. Jonathan mounting the charge for pole. Caden is out there as well. To the start finish line for Jonathan. Will it be enough? I don't believe so. He'll go third quickest. He will not improve. Caden invalidated lap time. So that's gonna do it. Charles will start from the pole here for the French Grand Prix.
Yes!
Alright. So, I believe somebody's friend has joined the session, so somebody needs to tell that person to leave.
Isn't this a private session?
Yes, you got pole position.
I'm sorry?
Yes, boys.
Is this not a private session, or?
It's
invite only?
It's a friends only.
Oh.
Horse squares in the pit lane.
Devin, man. GG. GG. GG, man. We got pole. We got pole. Yes!
So AlphaTauri, bottom of the constructor standings, they're coming out here in full force tonight.
Fuck. What a shitty quality, eh?
And that's going to do it for qualifying. We'll see what's in store for the race. Have to see here. Yep. These are 15 times. Hector did not set a time, so 14 times. I'll post it there. Charles on pole. Troy second. Jonathan third. Invader fourth. Octane fifth. TK sixth. Colton, a massive improvement. Up to mid-pack here in 7th. Many Things 8th. Foursquare 9th. Caden sat 10th. How about Neil in 11th? Venti 12th. Tubby will be in 13th. Aiden 14th. Should
all
also-
I can think about is a SpongeBob quote. Who you calling Tubby?
China next week. Nice.
I'm just as surprised as you, man.
So for Red Bull on a struggle bus right now, not in their early season form.
Ferrari
I
on
don't
the
like this
struggle
train.
bus.
What
Damn.
strat are we going
It's
for?
like- it's too tough.
Okay,
Devin,
I
Devin,
don't see anybody new in on that lobby list.
Sorry?
I think they're in.
Yes, boys. Let's see. Let's see what we got, boys and girls.
Ferrari on the
We'll
struggle
find out.
bus.
Right.
Yeah.
Strategy.
I
Yes.
hope they're not.
Soft, medium, medium, all the way, mate. This is the perfect strat to go for. It's saying box lap 5, so I'm gonna go box lap
They're not.
5 or 6.
Okay. I'm looking
Lower
at
the fuel load a
this,
bit,
they're not
and
in.
then
Alright, so we'll see if Killing for Cash can make it. If for some reason he can't, he did miss quali, we will not back out for him. But if we have to reset the lobby because of the grid glitch, then he'll join us and he'll be P16.
Who's that?
Killing for cash, Robert.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. If he can join, great. If not, well, that sucks. But here we go for our 27 lap event here at Circuit Paul Ricard, and it is AlphaTauris in row 1 and 2. Let's go through our starting lineup. In row number 1, we're going to have an AlphaTauri starting from grid box number 1. It'll be Charles, and alongside of him, you'll have the McLaren of Troy. Row 2, we're going to have the Renault of Jonathan, and we're going to have alongside of him the other AlphaTauri of Invader. Row number 3, we're going to have the Haas of Octane making his return, and is coming out in full force today, starting P number 5 alongside of him. The Racing Point, TK, will be starting from P6.
Who's this in P11?
Here, in row number 4, we'll have Colton in the Mercedes, and with him, we'll have many things in the Red Bull. Row number 5, we're going to have the other Red Bull of Foursquare. And alongside of him, we'll have the McLaren of Caden. Here in row number 6, we'll have the Alfa Romeo of Neil. And alongside of him, we'll have the Ferrari of Venti. Row number 7, we'll have the Williams of Tubby. And alongside of him, the Ferrari of Aiden.
I love Buddy's gamer tag.
Alright,
And
boys, good
from
luck.
the last row, our champion this season, the EWRL F1 Season 4 champion, has elected to not set a qualifying time. He says he's going to be doing the last to first challenge from
Question
P15.
mark, not first.
No, last to first challenge. Nah, we'll see how far up the grid he can go in the Alfa Romeo from P15. So as they grid up, it is time to bring the action. As we wait the lights, we've got 5 red lights, and it is lights out, and away we go. We're off and away for the French Grand Prix. Charles trying to get off to a great start. He's dropping on the order on the timing on the timing sheet, but he's still out front. Looks like timing's all messed up right now. Oh, and around goes a Renault, or an Alfa Romeo. That's Hector. Oh, you love to see scoring messed up here, so we're going to take it off the screen until it resets. But Charles continues to lead here over to McLaren of Troy. Jonathan sat third. Jonathan piling on the pressure there in third. Devin holds on to fourth. Octane going wide there in fifth. Under attack from TK sat sixth. Here comes Colin, not falling down the order just yet. The 2 Red Bulls up to 8th and 9th. They've gone around 1 car. There's one of the McLarens, I believe that's Caden, who's fallen down to 10th. One of the Ferraris, that's gonna be, I believe that's Venti moving up into 11th.
Yep.
And it's both Alfa Romeos up there, or back there, in 12th and 13th, being beat by one of the Ferraris there. Jake's at 14th, and we'll have Aiden in 15th. Back up front, Charles trying to put together the race that could get him a full-time ride. He's been trying to get some points this season, and he has not been able to really put some points on the board here as drivers will cross the start-finish line. Hopefully scoring will reset here, and we can finally put the scoring up on the screen here. But as Charles crosses the line, it'll be a 1:39.094 as the opening lap at a Grand Prix goes. We'll wait for all the drivers to cross the start-finish line before we throw up scoring. And there we go. Let's see if it's any better. And it looks like it is. That does look like correct scoring. Jonathan continues to follow that McLaren around the top 3 nose to tail. Not really breaking apart from one another. Oh. Wow, Buck says he's raced TK before and is surprised to see him anywhere near the front.
Who said that?
Buck.
I don't know who that is.
You've most likely raced him on NASCAR, but...
Probably. I believe when I race NASCAR, I was always up front.
Just reading the comments.
Whatever. Haters gonna hate.
Of course, TK coming off his second place finish last week in Singapore. One of the hardest tracks on the schedule with some very, very rough conditions to start in the rain, and still somehow kept the car clean and finished P2 behind our
And how
champion.
one speck of damage on that pretty pink thing.
Back in front, Charles must have made a mistake. He's falling back. Here comes Jonathan for the race lead on Troy. Jonathan with the fastest lap, a 1:33.564. Raced him about 3 weeks ago, put into a public lobby, so maybe I'm not giving him enough credit. I don't know. Were you doing public lobbies 3 weeks ago?
Is that Buck Johnson?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what he's talking about. Yeah, we raced the guy a few weeks in a public lobby, but I don't know what Buck's talking about him being slow. He lagged out, I think, of the session. So.
But yeah, Buck's he's been joining week in and week out to support you. So glad to have him on the broadcasts here. And now Caden sat 10th.
My tires are shot, man.
Trying to fend off one of the Red Bulls of Foursquare. This far down the running order, I'm very shocked. He just finished second 2 weeks ago in Spa. For him to be outside the points is a shock. Neil, and granted, you know, 2 different games. Last week was our first race on 2020. But Neil scored points. He finished 5th, I believe, 2 weeks ago at Spa and is sat 12th. Well, we don't have to worry really about points back here for... Oh, Venti's gone off the track, and that's probably why we don't have to worry about points back here. DRS enabled for the McLaren of Troy, trying to close the gap to the Renault of Jonathan. Troy, Charles, trying to get their first wins in their EWRL F1 career. Devin trying to get his first win on the season. Jonathan trying to close the deal. He's gotten podiums, but has not been able to seal the deal and get up front. Jonathan leads this thing. Hector has made his way up into P number 9. And granted that this track is pretty wide, the walls are very far away. The likelihood of a safety car is very low. It's actually, oh, there goes Devin, I believe, way wide. Devin holding on to 4th there. So Octane under attack now from the racing point of TK. Turn number 10. Hector's moved his way into P number 8 on the hards. So Hector trying to jip the whole field on strategy here. And get another one of his monstrous 30-second victories. Yeah, Buck, actually this is the penultimate round of the season, so not next week, but in a couple weeks from now, yeah, we'll be taking, you know, any drivers who'd want to be joining us for Season 5, and of course I know how you race, and you'd be welcome to join us. We obviously would have to you know, test you out and all. We have preseason events for that as well, so that'd be a great time for you to maybe get in, try to run with the drivers, and see if you if you'd like to join, and if the drivers wouldn't mind racing you. TK has gotten to P5 over Octane. Octane trying to fight back hard. Both of them on the soft compound here. Hector working his way now to the gearbox of the Mercedes of Colton. And again, looks like Colton will probably lose the spot just knowing how Hector is. But still very impressed with Colton on this transition to 2020. He's really brought a lot to the table here on this transition, is showing that he can compete a little bit more. Very, very excited to see what Colton can maybe do next season. Jonathan heads into the pit lane. 4 laps on the softs, and it's killed them off already. Here comes Charles in as well, as Troy will take over the race lead in the McLaren. Pit window is open. In as well, we'll have Caden in the McLaren. There goes Jonathan out and away. Yes, sir. So next week will be our season finale in China. Following that, we will have our All-Star Race weekend. Pretty much very similar to how NASCAR does their All-Star Race. We'll have an Open and the All-Star and all of that. And that'll go into more into detail in the Facebook group in the coming weeks for that. And then after that, we'll have our opening events for next season. So Jonathan comes out 12th. Charles 14th. Caden 15th. Troy back up front. Hector's already made his way into the top 5 and is looking to take over the race lead in a couple laps here, in the pit window open for these soft tires. Everybody going soft to mediums. Who started on softs, they should be going soft to mediums. Which I believe everybody in the top 10 were forced to start on softs because that's what they qualified with. And everybody outside the top 10 went with mediums, except, of course, Hector went with hards. So Hector probably trying to make this just a one-stop from hards to mediums. We'll see if the mediums will do it the opposite way. Troy heads into the pit lane from the race lead.
It's Jonathan.
Devin is in as well. TK comes on in. Here comes Hector. And Colton as... I'm sorry, yeah. Octane and Colton head into the pit lane as Hector will take over the race lead. So Troy is down and away. Many things. Neil, they stay out. Many things stays out on 6-lap-old mediums. So it's very interesting to see both of these Red Bull drivers up here on older soft tires. Now we know Foursquare to kind of be the tire guru of the grid, but many things up here as well is you know, pleasant to see him maybe taking it back a little bit, not pushing those tires as hard, making them last a little bit longer. As Neil goes to second, making an Alfa Romeo 1-2, Red Bull 3-4. See Neil and many things continue to duke it out for 6. Of course, Neil's going to stay out here on those mediums. He'll probably take his mediums to the end of their life and go to the hards. And that'll probably be the reverse for Hector. You hear Red Bull drivers communicating with one another who's pitting this lap and who will pit next lap.
I'll stay out. I'm staying out.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
No, you.
Many things into the pit lane. That was almost, you know, that was almost race detrimental to them. Not really figuring out who was going to go until last second. Jonathan goes to third.
I'm doing something different.
Oh, okay. Is he going soft to hard? Is he going to try a soft to hard? We know him to kind of conserve those tires. Probably why he was hanging out towards the back of the grid.
Oh, Jonathan, are you in here?
Something must have happened between Octane and TK.
Nah, it's just stupid. If I wouldn't have been paying attention, we would have just had 3 retirees.
Looks like Octane is trying to go for the soft, medium strategy. Foursquare still out there in P5. Mannyfinks comes out of the pit lane. He went to hards as well and is in 14th. So Troy up to 4th on fresh mediums. Jonathan 3rd on fresh mediums. Foursquare trying to go. We'll see how far he can stretch those softs. And then how long his hards can go. Hector, it says he's on 0 lap old hards.
I'm pitting
No, I
this
haven't
lap.
stopped. I'm lap 8. I'm
Yeah.
on lap 8.
But scoring just says 0 lap old hards. Alright, anyway, here comes Foursquare into the pit lane. And a 5-second speeding penalty for Jake for speeding into the pit lane.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say me.
And Octane goes fastest. They 133, 463 for the Haas driver. Oh, a lot of battling here. Octane, Devin getting at it for P6. Venti holding tough in the points. P8 now on those old mediums.
3103.
So a whole grab bag of strategy. You think there's like 4 different strategies in this 15 driver grid?
Neil, I wouldn't bother battling Jonathan too hard. He's on a different strategy to you.
No, I didn't pick ERS up right there.
So Jonathan breezes by Neil. Of course, he just heard Hector there. They're on different deferring strategies, and that's evident by the tire life on the on the scoring there on the left-hand side. There's a caution in sector 2. I believe there's a slow McLaren. No, that's a stop Ferrari. Oh, that's Venti.
Venti.
Oh man.
You're good. I can recover.
You're missing the little winglets there on the front wing. But other than that, that wing looks mostly intact.
Not on the wheel.
Jonathan goes fastest on the mediums. A 1:33.205. So Octane, the only driver who went soft, I believe. And right now in P6. Trying to see if he can make up some time like that and then try to fend off drivers when he ultimately would pit for mediums, I would assume. Venti into the pit lane, replace that front wing. So again, looking at a lot of different sites up here. Jonathan looking to try to get his best finish on the season. Of course, Jonathan, he's finished, well, third, 6th, and his AI finished 4th last week. So Jonathan trying to get his best finish of the season there in 2nd, and will ultimately take the race lead when Hector pulls in. If the strategy even actually allows that. Hector already 10 seconds up on Jonathan. We'll have Neil trying to get his first points on the season to try to get himself a full-time ride. I mean, oh no, never mind. He scored points last in Spa. Finished 5th. He was subbing for Ben, I believe, but and he is again this week. But he definitely will have a full-time ride. We'll make sure of that next season. Troy in the points, obviously, already at 41 points on the season right now, ahead of TK as we run right now. So Troy trying to get into P12 in points right now in P4. And Charles in P5 trying to get his first points of the season. Octane in P6. Octane making his first start in Everett in Singapore. He tried to make Singapore, but Octane making his first start since Australia. That's about 7 rounds ago. Octane hasn't made a start, and right now in P6. Devin, of course, returning after a very strong going last season. Up until the end, he started to not show up as much and pretty much missed an entire season's worth of races if you'd add the end of the last season to the beginning of this season. But has come back pretty strong. Of course, Singapore finished, Spa finished P4. Singapore, little disappointing with the connection issues and all, but still in the points for his second full race that he's actually going to start here in P7. TK, of course, riding the sugar high of the P2 last week in P8. Trying to see what kind of momentum he can bring as he tries to battle that AlphaTauri. Caden in P9 just staying consistent there, consistently getting points in his starts. It's been a minute since you've seen Caden last race with us in Baku, and before that, Australia. So it's been a few weeks, but glad to have him back. And Colton in the points, been very strong. Of course, Colton getting his best finish of the season 2 weeks ago in Belgium, and running strong here today at Circuit Paul Ricard. Of course, many things. Foursquare 11th and 12th, the Red Bull duo. Further down the grid, on differing strategy there. Not the positions they'd want to be in, but both pretty high in points. Both over in the triple digits of points. Not too many teams can say that they've had drivers in all season long, the same drivers all season long, get triple digit points.
I'll take it.
Pretty neat thing to see there. Of course, Jake making his second start of the season in P13 in the Williams. P14 will have Aiden in the Ferrari. And P15 will have Venti in the Ferrari. For Venti, this would be the
11th Grand Prix, I'm pretty sure.
This would be the 6th different car he's driven this season. And it would be the 8th Grand Prix. I'm sorry, the 9th Grand Prix this season he's made. So Neil into the pit lane. Neil goes medium to hards, so can only assume Hector will take those hards a couple laps longer and go hards to medium. Neil be racing on pit exit with Caden. As Caden goes by, Neil slot in behind the McLaren. Here comes Aiden into the pit lane from mediums to hards. Keeping that front nose clean. Very good to see. Back up front. How about our champion? Hector having an absolutely phenomenal season, having it continue. Trying to get win number 13 on the season. I mean, it's wicked. Trying to break the record of most wins in an EWRL F1 season. Of course, the most wins in any EWRL season, pretty hard to beat when it was 19 races. Of course, it was also 36 attempts that season in our first NASCAR season. That not attainable for this season, at least. Hector could absolutely go on a tear next season and win all but 2 Grand Prix and to tie that. Or to break that. I guess all but 3 Grand Prix next season. To tie that. 3-second time penalty for Octane for multiple warnings. So about having a great return.
Octane is a 3-second penalty.
And many things does.
Yep.
For multiple warnings. What a Chad.
Just letting you guys know. I'm not mic'd up with everybody, but we'll just keep a note of it and we'll talk about it in the meeting tomorrow.
He here, there. That's four square. Middle of this season, he was moved up to a steward's role, and he's been absolutely phenomenal with it. I'm glad to kind of just be relaying messages, keeping the drivers in check. Well, who he can. Every driver should be in this party besides Jonathan, and every driver should at least have
Who's
him
Tubby?
unmuted. Jake? Oh, he doesn't have a mic, but he can hear.
Okay.
He's in
So
the party.
that's what I think he's been getting in someone's way. So we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah. Octane is down and away. Caden into P8. Octane, who would, I believe, racing, yep, the Red Bulls on pit exit here. Caden's gone into battle, really, with Neil and Colton. And a couple differing strategy. Actually, yeah, a couple differing strategies here. Neil on fresh mediums. And, I'm sorry, Neil on fresh hards going to the end. And Caden and Colton on the same strategy. Colton with fresher tires by 1 lap. So Hector, I believe he just crossed the line there. 12 laps remaining. Here at Circuit Paul Ricard, taking those hards to the very end. Is he going to go hard to soft? I can't. I mean, I can definitely see that, but to try to just squeak out as many points as he can this season, he very well can take those hards as long as he can. Very clear track. Well, as I said, at catching the lap cars of the Ferraris. Onto the back straight, and Charles, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Hector rounding turn 10. And I'll catch up to his good old buddy old pal in the Ferrari Aventi. 3-second time penalty for Jake for multiple warnings. And Hector into the pit lane.
Wow. Wow. I get blue flagged just for him to go into the pit.
And Jonathan is in as well. Are they going softs here? If Hector with his 8 or near 7.5 second advantage, Hector puts the mediums on. Jonathan mediums on. Softs will not go that long, I assume. That's why. Jonathan's in. Charles is in. Everybody's in for fresh mediums.
Imagine.
TK. Well, he'll go to second. Troy takes over the race lead. TK actually will come out in third behind Troy. And a 5-second penalty for Caden for speeding into the pit lane. Might just happen a little out of the way things go. Of course, that becoming a rule mid-season where we turn off pit assist. We force pit assist to become off. Because at tracks like Baku and Monza, you can really get an advantage if you have pit assist on. So Troy again seeking out his first win on the season. He's been working his way up all season long. He went 5th, then he went 4th. He had a rough race in Belgium. He finished 8th there. Then he went 3rd last week in Singapore. At least trying to do 1 better, but wow, what it would be for him to get 2 better. Can he take 10 lap mediums over 10 laps? I highly doubt that, but you know, the question has been asked. He goes another lap around.
You're there.
Charles goes by Foursquare. And both Red Bulls hanging out in P10. Not wanting to compete today.
Nah. Oh.
Into the pit lane goes one of the AlphaTauris. That's Devin. So who's going to go from one tire to the softs? I assume Neil's going to the end. Let's say, is Troy trying to go medium to soft? Or are the softs just done for? Are they not making a return this race? So right now Hector is the theoretical leader. Troy is the actual leader. We'll see what his strategy becomes on those 11 lap old mediums. Hector closing the gap on 10 lap fresher mediums. Jonathan's at second. TK in fourth, still has to pit. Neil in fifth. Octane sixth. Here comes Troy into the pit lane. What is he going to do? I believe it's still medium time here. He'll come into the pit lane. He'll go with the softs. He'll try it. Oh, he has to replace the front wing as well. As Hector goes fastest, a 132. Trying to secure that fastest lap point. TK up into P3. And a 5-second time penalty for Colton for speeding into the pit lane. That could be detrimental. He was in the points.
There is no way. It said 37. That is bullcrap.
And a 5-second time penalty, or speeding penalty for Jake.
I could try to go to the end, but I'm not gonna.
Pit lane has really troubled a lot of drivers here. And again, the pit lane, a little bit different from the beginning of F1 2019. They changed it with a patch to the different pit lane. And then here in 2020, just a tricky pit lane. It's a very long pit entry. And watch TK experiment with some of the paint stripes there. And here comes TK's. Hector goes a 131, 848 on the mediums, but Troy on the softs. Can he snag the fastest lap point away? We're right on board with Troy, so he'll start his quest for the fastest lap point.
God, I hate this pit road. It's so long.
Yeah.
And
Coming for you in your own wheel.
Mediums to softs for TK. He'll be... Oh, what a race back here. Foursquare, many things, Devin. It looks like TK will be joining this battle. Right into the middle of it. A four-way battle for 7th. We'll continue to ride on board with Troy. He is on the charge, trying to set fastest lap. Don't know if he'll gain any positions. He's about 13 seconds back from Jonathan.
Spino up.
Oh no, many things.
Devin, that's okay. Nothing you could do.
On board with Troy. Hector already crossed the line. There goes Jonathan. Here comes Troy for the fastest lap point. 8 and a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Troy goes a 1:31.592 and is sat in P3. Troy trying to sneak out another podium. Neil, of course, in 4th on those hards, trying to go to the end. Charles in P5, about 3 seconds or so back on those mediums. Can he snag P4? Octane sat in P6 on mediums. If he doesn't stay straight too far, he might be able to snag a top 5. TK also mounting the charge on fresh softs. TK, can he try to snag this fastest lap on even a lighter fuel tank?
Yeah, I got no grip.
As Devin flies by both Red Bulls.
I've got Octane down 2 seconds and not even a full lap.
We'll be coming around to 6 laps to go in the French Grand Prix as Hector rounds through Sector 3. Caden, your advice today from Buck is to stay on the circuit.
So far my only penalties are speeding on pit lane, so he can suck it.
A caution in Sector 1. There's a Ferrari around. Did the Ferraris make contact?
No, I was just riding his ass too much. I didn't pull out to overtake it.
Whoa, that is a whole lot of phrasing that can be changed. Yeah. Riding on the ass, couldn't pull out. Yikes.
That sounded really bad.
Yeah.
No race car driver ever. Nothing. Emerson was talking. Sorry.
I felt a little something on my back end, but I think it was...
Was it in yet? Oh boy. The immaturity of a teenager. As if I'm not 18, but... Hector! The gap between Jonathan and Hector has really closed out, and Jonathan's mounting a charge for this race win. 4.6 seconds the gap now, was 7 seconds entering pit lane.
I didn't hear about you.
After this race?
I think so, yes. Yes. Hey, keep doing that.
Come here, Octane.
The battle for 8th getting a little spicy between friends. TK trying to set the fastest lap and snag Octane here.
Oh, I'm not going for fastest lap. I'm just being consistent.
Well, that's no fun. Jonathan is really piling on the pressure. It's now down to 4 seconds. We'll be coming around to 4 laps remaining here in the French Grand Prix. As Hector may be conserving something to go all out towards the end.
Oh yeah, I got DRS.
The battle for 6th is on. The battle for 8th is on. The battle for the lead is on, and a 5-second time penalty for Jake for speeding into the pit lane. Here goes Foursquare. On Devin, the fight for PA continues. Devin with the preferred line through the chicane, but Foursquare on exit. Side by side, out of turn number 9. They're still side by side through the kink. On the way to turn 11. Devin's got the preferred line. Going out wide is a little bit. Foursquare tries to fight back.
Oh, Devin, I missed you.
Back to TK, right on the gearbox of the Haas. Here we go. DRS front straightaway. Let's go. See, will TK send it into T1? Here he goes up the inside. Almost a little contact. Oh, the crossover to cut.
Oh,
And a 3-second time penalty for Foursquare for multiple warnings.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Colton, can he snag 11th? Piling on the pressure on Caden. Again, not a points paying position, but just for pride at the moment, unless something messes up ahead. Charles to P4 on Neil. Oh, maybe a mistake from Charles, maybe a big lunge or something, but Neil back to P4. Many things a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Oh, big oversteer on the exit of turn 9 for Caden. Colton, here he goes. Searching through turn 10 into the kink into turn 11 now. Colton continuing to just ride that gearbox. 3 laps to go. Here at Circuit Paul Ricard. Hector opening the gap back up front. Here comes Colton. There, at the back wing is open on the Mercedes. He continues to just ride behind Caden for the time being. We'll catch up with them next. DRS straight. We go back to the battle for 4th between Charles and Neil. Troy's left the session.
Troy.
Not sure what happened. I can't assume he'd leave on purpose from the 3rd position. But
probably connection issues.
I was going to say, it's most likely connection issues. As Charles up to P4 on Neil once again. Caden and Colton continue to duke it out. It's a slugfest back here for 11th. And a 3-second time penalty for Jake for corner cutting. Oh, and around goes Colton. Brings up the yellow there in Sector 3. Colton gathers it back up, but looks like it won't be P11. What is going on back here? Anyway, Hector just over a lap away from completing his last to first challenge.
It was last a question mark, but I mean...
Okay, we knew. We knew what you wanted to say. No, you're just trying to be humble. Not predict anything, but with 1 lap to go, she's just got to bring it home. Here at Circuit Paul Ricard, Jonathan 5.2 seconds back. And Troy's AI pits from 3rd position. I don't think... Oh, no. Troy was trying to maybe get a podium, and of course he's rejoined the party now. Oh, he's trying. It's too late. The AI is in. On the final lap of the Grand Prix, Charles is going to fly by for P3. 1 lap to go for Charles.
Stuff are changing.
Neil in the pit lane, and Troy has rejoined the session.
Everybody votes on stuff.
Too late, huh?
But
Oh
with team-wise,
no,
I
the
did,
AI is pitted. I knew you were
Devin is
trying
my
to make it
teammate.
one more lap.
Oh, did it pit?
Yes.
I feel like if I do donuts, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do donuts.
Yeah, I don't know if you can today.
And I pulled off. I nearly pulled off one stuff.
Colton with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Can Neil make one last hurrah at Charles? Charles has got the softer and fresher compound. I don't believe so. TK trying to, well, now hold on to P5. Hector comes to the start-finish line for the 13th time this season. Hector will win the French Grand Prix. Jonathan will get his best finish on the season. Somebody else getting their best finish on the season, provided they can make it through the rest of Sector 3 in the AlphaTauri. Now into turn 15, a 5-second penalty for Jake for an unserved penalty. It's going to be Charles with the podium. Third position for the AlphaTauri. No penalty. Neil goes to P3. Charles back to 4. As TK goes to P5. Octane to P6.
We broke the curse.
Devin goes to
Yeah.
7th with Troy's penalty to P8. Foursquare crosses the line in P9. Many things will come home. P10. Here comes Caden. P11. Colton goes off in turn 15.
Neil, man. GG. GG.
Nice.
Neil.
Yeah.
P3. Good one. Neil.
Shut man, thanks.
Got fastest lap.
Thanks.
Yeah, you got fucking lucky because I sent it on you and I felt that move was unfair, so I let you by.
Yeah, no.
And okay. Hector will drive.
I wrote that.
Okay, at least
GG,
this
mate.
week it's a legit one.
What do you mean last week's wasn't legit too?
Great race,
Oh, wait.
everybody.
It was
Sorry,
Jonathan who ended up winning the race according to the game.
Well,
Mine says Hector.
Yeah, no, this week says Hector, yes. Last week it said Jonathan. And Jonathan was AI for most of the race and, you know, finished won the race according to the game.
Fucking done it, mate.
Wow, so, not a single safety car. I think that's the first time this season we have not had a safety car or a VSC. Oh, all those penalties.
was
My
good.
goodness.
Yeah, it was good.
Take a look at the incidents. We'll get our podium interviews going in just a moment. Gotta get the race director for Stewart's review as the leaderboard does load up this time.
Needed 6/10 to get Octane for 6th. Man.
But there it is. Hector wins. Jonathan second. Neil third. Those will be our podium interviews, followed by Charles getting his first points finish of the season. TK fifth. Octane with a great return P6. Devin to P7. Troy a Foursquare ninth. Many things to making a all Red Bull row 5 back there.
Fuck, we could have got the podium. I can't fucking believe that. If I would have fucking sent it on him and just kept the maneuver, we would have got the podium.
No, you were
Well,
going to spin around because I sent it on someone.
Yeah, but I let him by Elijah. Do you see that?
Alright.
I let him by. Do you reckon that was
alright.
nice of me?
Neil, you got a copy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Neil. Alright. He finished on the podium. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah, thanks to my partner for the strategy. Told me early. Don't stress. This race will come to us. And it did.
Yeah. You know, your teammate today is the champion this season. I think that's a pretty good pairing, huh?
So, yeah. I'm a proper number 2, I think. So,
all right. So
that's good.
How much do you have to convince you to go on to strategy, or were you just always along with the strategy?
No, when Your champ tells you to do that, you rather just listen. That's why he's a champion. So, let me just do it.
Fair enough. Any point throughout the race there, you were any worries that you weren't going to kind of get the finish that you deserved, or were you just kind of in it for the long haul, like you
towards
said?
towards the end, my hearts were green, and then Charles was on fresher mediums, so really had to save that overtake button for a couple laps to keep him behind me until his tires faded a bit. So,
Right.
and then I picked up that he had a penalty, so I didn't fight him much into the last lap, so I just stayed within those 3 seconds.
I was gonna say, did you know he had a penalty? But I guess he did.
Yeah, I did.
How was it racing Charles?
Nah, Charles and I race all together, so it's trust between both of us that we leave each other space and we're not too dangerous in overtakes.
Yeah, I'd agree, yeah. To be fair, with the maneuver, I would have got the move done in the 3 seconds, but I felt the move was unfair, so I let him by. So that's the
there's always respect between us, There's respect, so it's the same between all of us. That's how it is.
I'm really happy with you, Neil. Good job, man.
Alright.
Thanks, Charles.
Well, that's great. It's your best finish on the season. So congratulations on the third place finish today. Next week is China, and if everybody's here, and if you want to, you are definitely eligible for a full-time right now. You've now scored 25 points in 2 races. You're definitely eligible to get a full-time ride when you want to take one. Next week is China. How you feeling about China?
I think I might be just a bit quicker on that one. I didn't like France too much. One of them wasn't my best circuits, so I'll get a little bit better as we go. It's nice racing those faster guys.
Right on. Well, congratulations on the podium, and good luck to you next week.
Yeah, thanks, Emerson.
All right. Hey, Jonathan, you got a copy?
Yeah, well, I'm here, mate.
All right, P2 yet again, but this time, or I'm sorry, not yet again, a podium yet again. P2, your best finish on the season. How'd you get this one done?
Overall pace, I reckon. I enjoyed the race. I was in the lead briefly, given the pace. Troy overtook me. Then he came into the pits, and then I had to battle with Salnace. I was trying to catch him, but I was also trying to conserve fuel as well. So congratulations to Hector as well. So it was a good race tonight.
Right on. So were you always committed to the strategy today, or kind of just following qualifying that was just kind of what you had to take, or were you thinking of other options that you ultimately didn't want to go with?
I was thinking other options, but I don't particularly like the hard tires round France, and so I went for my the strategy that I went with, and I had more pace with the mediums I was catching, and I think Hector was saving tyres because I was catching him, and then with like 3 or 4 laps to go, the gap just went shooting up again. So that's what I presume, but overall, that was my strategy. I'm pleased with the result. I'm looking forward to next week.
Right. I was actually going to ask you about that. You answered most of my question. I was just going to ask, did you think you could have caught Hector?
Do I get the full-time ride?
If I saved a bit more fuel, maybe could have caught him, but I'm happy with P2. I want to win a race before the end of the season. But best result of the season so far, P2, and just on way up.
Right on. All right. So next week is China. How are you feeling about China, about Shanghai?
Looking forward to it. I quite like China.
All right. Well, glad to hear it. Congratulations on another podium this season. But again, your best finish on the season of second. Looking to do one better next week. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right. And finally, how you doing there, champ?
I'm chilling.
Another day, another win. What inspired you for the last, the challenge from last question mark today?
Well, I had it in mind. I was gonna do it at some point in the season, and then Happy was like, you know what, put on a show or whatever. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do the last of first challenge at some point, so I'll just do it now. And yeah, just went from there, just chilled and yeah.
All right. So I think the real last of first challenge comes when you're on the same strategy as the pole sitter. No, I'm messing.
Yep. That's the worst strategy. So
I'm messing. All right, but yeah. Where you knew? I guess you convinced Neil that the race would come to you. Did you kind of know that it was going to come to you, or did you know anybody else was trying your strategy, or anybody that was going to maybe impede that?
or
anything?
I didn't really think anybody was going to impede the strategy or anything. If you look at some races with the soft tire, they just dissolve and they're just like provolone cheese at certain points. So some races they let you can start on soft, and other races they're just like cheese, like I said. So yeah, I just told Neil what I saw, what I knew, and yeah, I guess I just managed to convince him at that point. But I wasn't obviously gonna hold anything to him or make him or force him to do something he didn't want to do. I just told him what I knew, what the facts were, and let him make a choice from there, and that was it.
All right. Well, yeah, I assume also, you know, just your place this season probably carries a lot of weight with you in that sort of decision making, as he said. But yeah, how you feeling about China next week?
I'm not a big fan of China, I guess. I don't like turn 1 and the majority of the circuit as a whole. But yeah, it is what it is. We all have circuits we like and dislike.
Right on. Well, congratulations on your 13th win on the season, champion. And glad to see you next week as you try to get 14.
Thanks.
Hector, GG, mate.
GG.
All right, well, that concludes coverage tonight for the Extreme World Racing League's Formula 1 Season 4 French Grand Prix. We will continue coverage next week with the EWRL F1 Season 4 finale in Shanghai. Make sure you tune in next Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time for the Chinese Grand Prix. This has been Emerson Arnold on the call, and we will see you next time.